support.
May I continue now?
Yep, now, sir, yes, thank you for bringing it to my attention, and I apologise to the council.
Having read those submissions, and I am relatively unfamiliar with some of the reserve, but I made a point this morning getting to the council early and having a good look around, including alternatives, or an alternative that has been mentioned. And having now listened to the submissions, I am in favour of us proceeding with the kindergarten reserve as in terms of proceeding accordingly. Now, it is Ms. Lockdown helped, it appears, in the organisation of a petition which had gathered near some 500 signatures. That is quite impressive. You know, it really is quite impressive. But I wasn't aware that some of those people that signed the submission were not residing in the area until it's been mentioned. But to me, the question is not the number of people that have signed. And I take, it was interesting that Councillor Van Rooyen asked Mrs. Lockdale, did she sort of try and attempt to influence people when they signed, and Ms. Lockdale gave a very clear answer that she did not in any way try to attempt to influence people, and I accept that. But I believe that the arguments that have contained, as a council, it's not our duty to look at the number, whether it's 5 people, 20 people, 200 people, or 500 people who sign a petition. It's the content of that submission that is important and relevant. And I am not persuaded that the reasons given in the petition for not using the kindergarten reserve as a place for the pensioner housing. And I know we should perhaps use another word than pensioner housing, but everybody knows what I mean. I am not at all persuaded that the content or the relevance or the logic or the arguments expressed within that petition, notwithstanding that it's been signed by a number of people, and notwithstanding that it's been organised quite well, it does not convince me that we should change our thoughts, which were that the kindergarten reserve is the most preferred place. And I prefer on the balance, looking at all of the submissions that the submitters that were in support of the proposal, I believe their arguments, in my view, outweigh the arguments of those who are opposed.
Thank you, and I'll come back to you looking for a motion later. I want all councillors to speak. Please, councillors, Councillor Van Rooyen.
There was quite a bit of talk about consultation and providing information to make that consultation useful. I have got quite a bit of experience in delivering pamphlets personally to a whole part of the town, and I'm always flabbergasted by how much mail is left in letterboxes for a long time. So I need absolute assurance that pamphlets have been delivered to the parts of town where it was decided to deliver them, that it was done in a professional manner, so that I can be sure that pamphlets were delivered. Whether they were received may be another matter.
Mr.
Hand delivered to the houses that place all of those
Can I make a comment as fast as I can? The consultation, I understand, Kate, there was information about the neighbourhood party flyers, and they go to a wider area. It was also the neighbourhood flyers, the affected people was in the paper, there was a follow-up in the paper, there was a senior citizens meeting, and it was also on video, on stuff. The South Waikato News actually put it on, so it was actually online as well.
Our website.
and on our website, thank you. And I accept that people don't see it, but, sorry Kerry, I was talking a while ago to a real estate agent, and I said, well, there was a banner over Bridge Street, this is for something else. It was in the paper and it was on the radio. She said, well, I don't drive down Bridge Street, I don't read the paper, and I don't listen to the radio. So what else can we do? What else can we do?
Well, it was a good turnout at the senior citizens.
And a good turnout at the neighbourhood party.
I'll take some advice from
Sorry, I was just going to add, I neglected to mention that whenever we do a press statement or an advert or anything like that, we actually include it on social media. We do post on social media as well, so it's on social
Right.
media.
Does that answer your question, Councillor Van Rooyen?
It does. Thank you very much.
Other comments, please? As you talk, you've received it, and in which, that I take cognizance of Councillor McGill's talking about precision, and of course, if you look at senior citizens and there were 100 there, was it that all in favour or not, I don't know. It would have been nice if they had all written. Would you like to make any comment upon the audit journey to share with the...
Yeah, the audit schedule is very clear around what petitions obviously do have their place and they need to be considered, but it is still only a small percentage of the population generally that will be signatories to a petition, positive or support or opposing. So council needs to consider them in that context, that they are a means to an end, but not an end. So,
You've heard Councillor McGill speak. Other councillors, please. Councillor Lee, I'll go around the table.
Cool. Yeah, I actually thought kindergarten reserve is the right spot. I know personally, when I lived the other end of town, I used kindergarten reserve like most of the track, or I went around and people on the push bike when I was walking. I've never seen much evidence of people using the park. Even though Mr. Cocktail says a lot of people do, you've got Mason saying that none do. I was surprised by the level of hostility towards council and staff from submitters. I'm a born and bred Tokoroa person. We're just doing the best job we can with the information we have. I understand the petition. I was surprised by the number, but I know there's some people from out of town who've got no idea where kindergarten street is anyway. I've been away for a week. I missed all last week's issue of the newspaper, so I missed all of that. I still think kindergarten is a good option. The reason being, it's flat. Yes, we have to get rid of the trees. I went to the senior sits where most of the people that were there, they wanted the pensioner housing to go there. I know Trevor, I talked to Trevor at that meeting, and Trevor doesn't want that to go because of the trees, and they are beautiful trees. There's no two ways about it. But at the end of the day, those trees have to come down for us to put those units in there. Now, we do need those units, and we've only got a set amount of money. Whether we decide or not to use Kindergarten Street, we still have to build those units with the money that we've got available. So we have to decide whether we're still going to go ahead with Kindergarten Street, and whether we have to purchase other land, if we will limit the number of units that we can build. Now, when we were at the meeting at the Senior Sixth Hall, we talked about our limited supply and the units that we have that were going to be built. So if we have to purchase land, it means we're going to be building less of them. So that's the other thing we have to decide. Do we want to stick to our 10 units with the money we've got, or do we then have to purchase land somewhere reasonably close to town, because that's where most of the pensioners want to be. They want to either walk to town or ride in the village streets to town. They want to be reasonably close to the supermarkets and that. And like somebody else said, it's halfway between the hospital and town. So that's the decision that we have to make. Personally, I'm in favour of using Kindergarten Street, even though I understand the submitters and the petition, why they've gone to that. But personally, I haven't seen that park being used by other people. I might be wrong, or it might be just a final go.
All right, thank you. I better come back to you in case you were in favour of kindergarten, having listened to everything as I come round, you know.